Ladies and gentlemen, now it is my pleasure to welcome on stage our guests from Once Upon a Time panel. Please give it up for, we have Victoria's Smurfit and Kristin Bauer. Right, so if you have questions, feel free to stick your hand up and I will bring the microphone around and you can ask them away, so don't be afraid. Let's start with this lady here.
Be slightly afraid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh, my voice is so low on the microphone. Hi. You guys, obviously, like Cruella de Vil and Maleficent are like huge characters. So I was just wondering, when you found out you guys had the roles, how did you feel about it? Did you feel panicky and how, or whatever, and how did you prepare to get into this feeling of these mad characters?
Well, yes, terrified for sure, because Glenn Close played her before, so you know, walking in the footsteps of Glenn Close is not something you do without a certain amount of sweat. So it was scary and intimidating, but you know, the costume departments do these and makeup departments do so much of the work for you, because it's all in the script, and you have your fear, and then you turn up on set and everybody's so lovely, and by the time you've been through the works and you've been turned into these crazy queens of darkness, it's sort of so much of your work is done once you have the weight of the fur, the sparkle of the diamonds, the ridiculous wig, and you're pitched forward on these super red heels. You sort of instantly you sort of get your physicality. So that was really helpful. But yeah, there was like blood and tears.
Exactly. It is a bit like jumping out of a plane. Everything leading up to the moment when you jump is scary because you're in your head thinking and wondering and not knowing. And every new set is like going to a new school. You don't know anybody, you don't know who to sit with at lunch. It's the same thing. And so what helped was, I didn't have a lot of time to think about it when I did those first couple of scenes, and I think it was the first season. It was very quick. I got a call, I had to be on a plane, and it was really jammed in with True Blood, and my main thought I remember was that I wanted to make her different than Pam, because I was heavily immersed in shooting that, and just trying to find, Pam had such a specific, literal voice, you know, that I wanted to make her voice different. And I remember on the day, sort of in rehearsal, being like, I don't know where she is yet. And luckily, I was busy with remembering dialogue, and I had this amazing outfit and the clothes and the hair, and Lana Priya was incredible. She just was like, welcome to my set, and this is how we do things in a green room where you don't have any set. So I'm in my castle, but no, I'm in a room like this where everything is nauseous green. So it's a little and I'm in Canada, you know, I just got off a plane, so it was disorienting. Because on True Blood, if you were shooting in a castle, we'd find a castle and we'd shoot in it. And so it helps a little bit to kind of look around and, yeah, you know, this is my fucking castle, you know. So, and once upon a time, you have to walk over to these boys who are working, but they look like they're just playing video games for a living. And you look at this little screen and go, oh, it's a castle. So Lana helped me through that. And then, years later, I show up on the day, and there's this force of nature.
We learned how not to walk into walls together. Yeah. One day we're supposed, the three of us, I've got, my shoulders are out to here in the furs, you've got your dragon staff, Ursula's got her imaginary tentacles you can't see. So we have to put some space between us to be able to walk down. And I think we were going to go and threaten Rumpelstiltskin. And as you do, it's Tuesday. And we were walking down the halls, and they had to go, cut, hang on, you're all walking through the castle walls. Right? So It's very to put down lines so that you can try and stay in the track, so that you're not literally, you know, walking to a table that you don't know is there. And there'll be an awful lot, particularly this one. She was a devil for turning into a dragon, I won't tell you that, I won't lie to you. She's a devil, and so every now and again you'd have one of the assistant directors who'd be in the background going, dragon to the left, dragon to the right. And this one, meanwhile, is having a cup of tea going, great, well, there you go. And she'd turn into her imaginary self.
There, like, you guys look ridiculous.
Where's Kristin now? Up there!
Yeah, because what they had is a long pole with a tennis ball on the end for where they should look at the dragon.
And then there was a wind machine. Remember when I was trying to make you go to sleep? And I've got, Kristin turns up for 2 lines and goes, evil, evil, evil. And I'm like, that's pretty much how we did it. And then she disappears off, she buggers off to her trailer, and I'm stuck there with a massive wind machine. And they're firing leaves and crap at me in the eyeballs, and I'm talking to her imaginary dragon as a tennis ball, and I'm like, I'm her ladyship here, it's having lunch. But it was definitely the way around to do it.
Yeah, it was. It kind of was the way.
Oh, it was fun.
I have a question here, Riley.
This is for Victoria. I'm just wondering, how difficult is it for you to stay in the American accent, or is that really easy and then you meet somebody Irish and it's like straight into the bar?
I'm sorry, what was the last thing?
How difficult is it to keep the American accent? Are you okay until you maybe come across somebody Irish and then it's straight?
Well, Cruella was English, so that was easy enough because I spent the second half of my childhood in England at school in Ascot, where everyone was called Camilla and Lucinda, and they were very smart. So that was kind of useful for Cruella. But I just finished a film in Portland where I was American, playing another bitch, because apparently that's what I do. And that was sort of fun. But you do find yourself tripping yourself up. You're American all day, and then you get on the phone. You're like, "Hi kids, how you doing?" And then you have to sort of reboot to get back into the American. So it was American-ish, shall we say? But yeah, it can be tricky. You can't throw yourself.
Hello. On the programme, you all have such big personalities, and you all come across so dominant. But when the camera's cut, are you close, like the cast, or are you still that big personality off camera? Like, where are you like when the cameras aren't rolling all together?
We're sitting on chairs gossiping, aren't we, really?
Yeah.
Sharing protein bars and talking about all the things. We're great pals, actually. We meet outside of work and yeah, I think it's fair to say neither Chris, Merrin, nor myself are shy retiring flowers, so, but it works off screen and on, which is great.
That's really lucky, because you have no idea. I think we said every day, we're so lucky, because you don't know who you're going to be working with, just like at your jobs, and it makes or breaks the day if there's someone who's difficult. And very often a set will have somebody who's difficult, and we didn't in our group, and that's just huge. It's bliss, because the hours are long, and they become a lot longer if someone is a pain. So we had so many laughs. Oh my God, we had so many laughs.
Question is gentleman here.
You're obviously fantastic friends, but I'm sitting here and I'm picturing Pam sitting next to Lady Jane Weatherby. Has that ever come up?
Yes, because anytime we would talk about corsets. Or night shooting, right? We had the whole. There were many things that we could relate
and
to.
the sugar rushes you get off the blood capsules.
Yes.
So much of the time you'd be, doing the vampire stuff, and you cut yourself, or you're covered in blood, or you're doing, and by the end of the day, you're high as a kite on the amount of sugar. It's quite crazy. It's quite crazy. Yeah, we had a lot in common.
We did.
Yeah.
I have a question from a gentleman here.
When is season 5 coming out of your show?
When is season
5
coming out? Oh, they're filming it at the moment, love. I think it comes out in the States in a couple of weeks' time. So I don't think
next
Netflix
month
is too far behind over here, is it?
Next month.
I think it's
next month.
There you go.
Yeah, September something. September the 20th or something.
But I think it's soon.
Now we have a question here towards the middle here.
You guys play the villains of the Disney world. If you had in perfect world yourselves, which Disney princesses would you love to play?
I don't like the nice girls so much. I'm not so keen on them bitches. No. You can keep your princesses. You can play the princesses if you fancy. I prefer to play the men and the vampires or the deadly, evil, diseased humans. The ones that get killed. That's what I do.
Yeah, it's never even occurred to me to play a princess. I really enjoy the princess is often, you know, it's great. Acting is fun no matter how you slice it, but there tends to be more one note, you know, where they will be kind and crying and victimized and boring. And we get to play evil, and both Pam and Mel were very also vulnerable at the same time, and she got to be psychotic, you know, so there's just so many layers you get with characters that are, you know, psychotic.
Yeah, there are. Well, also, you know, when you take on a job, what you're always looking for are the flaws, because they're the most interesting thing about a person is their flaw. So you're always trying to work out, well, where's the flaw and how they're working with it. With the traditional princess, the flaw is usually the prince that she's trying to kiss. So it's sort of, I like the fact that you have to dig a lot deeper with the evil characters. Also, you get to do things at work that you're not supposed to do in real life, and that's a gift and a joy, really, because you're literally playing on set, doing all the things that your mother told you not to.
I have a question towards the back.
What fairy tale characters would you love to see in the show that haven't already appeared?
Wow, I've been sort of in and out of watching the show because we're traveling. And
I usually say Goofy.
Oh yeah.
We know.
Maybe that Gumby character, that thing where you can mold his body.
Oh, that could be fun. Sumo suit.
Yeah, let's see. Hannibal Lecter. No, I'm really the wrong person to ask. Really Krueger could show up.
And have with Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah. You're seeing why it's good there are writers.
Yeah, exactly.
Any questions there at the back?
If you could play any character at all, other than the characters you already play, who would it be?
I'd play Pam. But there's just no way in God's earth I'd be anywhere close to as fabulous as she was. But,
no, she would have been just as good, just different. An Irish Pam could have like, now from here and now yourself. Stop running so fast, Mr. Vampire.
I've done that.
Yeah, Pam was awesome. I feel like we've been pretty lucky. Like you really, Cruella felt like you had a lot of fun.
I know her. She was so misunderstood.
Yeah, she was misunderstood. Yeah, I feel like we've been pretty lucky.
We have.
I haven't been spending a lot of time looking around, you know, on True Blood or on this show thinking, you know, I'm in the boring role. You know, and on True Blood I felt like we'd do panels like this, and a lot of the other casts, even the boys, would say, I want to play Pam. She had some fun stuff to do. Great writing, it's just the writing.
And we have a question from a little boy here.
What's the hardest thing to deal with on Once Upon a Time? Like, what's the makeup or the long hours or...
My wig was very itchy. I won't lie. It was very itchy. I always had a pencil just to try and get the itch. But other than that, the costumes are really, really fabulous, but they are heavy. And my furs were ideal when we'd be shooting up in the Enchanted Forest, and it was chilly, because it's Vancouver and it's raining and it's mucky, and they'd get sodden. And it just get heavier and heavier, but I was the only warm one on set.
Yes.
Everybody loved my costumes whenever it got chilly.
And mine were pretty good for the cold as well, because I was used to on True Blood shooting in LA in the winter in a part that was below freezing. And we had to look like we were in Louisiana. So I would say for me, Vic has natural energy. I have less energy, and so I think the hours are a little brutal. And on True Blood especially, we would go on Monday, the alarm clock would go off at 3:30 in the morning, and then on Thursday, I would go into work at 5 p.m. and come home at 7 a.m. And to go back and forth, and the cold. Like, at times we were so cold, and it's really, I don't need to ever experience that level of fatigue or cold again, but I still didn't have it the worst. You know, Sam Merlot was running around naked in those woods for 7 years in like ballet shoes to protect his feet, which I wish I had seen. And a little sock, well no, probably a very large sock. But, so I really can't complain, but I did anyway.
You can't be an actress and not have a whinge now and again.
Yes, you need
rules.
A whinge.
A good whinge.
I miss her Irish expression so much.
You don't get them from anybody here, you know.
So great. So great.
I have a question for a lady here.
How exciting was it for you to be in Corella's car? Because it's such a big thing.
That machine. You know, it was a pimped out Mustang. So it was a Mustang that they made a Corolla car. It was so much fun. The inside was red fur, and poor Marin, who plays Ursula, was completely freaked out. She's like, I can't be in a car with this woman! Because I was, you know, I'm driving like, well, I can't be, you know, abiding by the rules of the road, to hell with that. And we were on these mountain passes where it's like a sheer drop this way and a mountain this way.
Wet pavement.
And Marin's like, oh my God! I had so much fun in my car. And one day we were, the director just hopped in the car and he said, right, we're putting the camera in the back and we're just going to we're going to just film you driving at speed, slamming on the brakes. I can't remember what I was looking at, probably you. And it was just before the sedan had taken out. And so we literally spent half an hour on these country roads. And it was just so much fun. I mean, we weren't some serious runners, so yeah, I won't lie. But I got to do a lot of car work when I did a cop show called Trial Retribution years ago. And we used to do sort of guerrilla filming where they put the camera in the back of the car and we'd just go through London. And you know, I'd have my badge, I'd slam up against the window, people thought I really was a cop, got out of the way. I'd be taken around with bags, flashing people. So I kind of got used to that crazy driving thing without killing any member of the crew as of yet.
She killed some regular people.
That's all right.